Hello everyone, this is Darius from Heaven Store, Berlin's prime Time Wizard store. We host weekly Goat and Edison locals. Yesterday we played Goat locals with 14 players. Last Saturday, every Saturday, we play Edison with last week 18 players. The week before 23 players, which I believe makes us the biggest Time Wizard store, not just in Berlin, but potentially Germany. Konami didn't want to give that info because it would inflate my ego, but I'm pretty sure. And of course, therefore, I am obligated to give you the definitive list of cards that need to be reprinted in the 25th Quarter Century Bonanza set releasing at the start of November this year in 2 weeks at the recording of this video. Of course, a few cards have already been leaked, 29, I believe, 28. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, there's going to be a luxury secret rare in each pack from a special 200 card nostalgia pool. This was the original announcement revealing the first cards, and I will not lie to you, when this announcement dropped I was very disappointed because I saw Flame Wingman and Dark Paladin and I was already tilted that we're only gonna get anime cards such as this Redditor, also thinking the same thing. Thankfully, from the 29 cards we've seen already, there's quite a few cards that are relevant to Goat and Edison and some other formats. And so let's go quickly over the cards that have already been revealed, and I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on them. So number one, the big one that used to be on this list, but thankfully Konami already sniped it. Dark Dragon used to be a 15 euro card just 3 days ago on Card Market, but if we check today, it has already dropped to 9 euros, which I think it'll drop even more because the super rare is just not that desirable anymore with the luxury secret rare coming out and the ultra rare and the other secret rare existing. So yeah, that already dropped the price just within 2 days of the announcement. That's really cool. We also have Big L, Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Nobody wanted this except waifu collectors, I guess. Colossal Fighter was a 9-10 euro secret rare before, but like a 2-cent common, so yeah, whatever. A bit unnecessary, but I guess it's cool. Go Your Guardian with a Rada text. It's probably gonna look nice, but again, we already had the tin secret rare. We had other versions. Flame Wingman, completely unnecessary. This already had speed duel secrets and other secrets and 500 printings. Same as Dark Paladin, especially since I used this artwork, which is the inferior one. And then Dural Warrior also used to be a very cheap card already and already has a secret rare print, but you know, it's okay, I guess. Cards that I'm very happy about, though, is going to be Magician of Faith. I think that's going to be an amazing looking card in luxury secret rare, as well as DDA Sale and very, very expensive secret rare from Dark Revelation 4. Konami, if you're listening, bring this set to Europe. We never got it. We feel scammed. Yeah, please give us Dark Revelation 4 reprint. Goblin Attack Force to pair it with. This already has a speed duels secret print, which looks amazing, so a bit unnecessary. Substitute is going to be printed into Oblivion, so this is hopefully going to be a cent card. Right now it's like €1, so I mean, it got reprinted so many times this year. Same with Card Trooper. This is the second secret rare printing it is getting this year. Same with Dandelion and Stratos. So while these picks are iconic, I'm not sure how necessary they were. I believe all these cards can also come in Quarter Century Rare. Me personally, I don't really care about that. I'm only looking for the secret rares, but yeah, I guess if you like Quarter Century Rare, this does sound appealing to you. Cyberstein, bit of a whatever again. Gores already had the old school printing that was like €5 in excellent condition, so very light played by American standards on Card Market. So yeah, like this was a cent common, €5 secret rare already. Lily feels really bad because the last Speed Duel set is coming out, and this is going to be one of the secret rares in the set, so that specific card from that set is already going to be less desirable with this premium secret rare coming out. Already had the original secret rare, of course. Yeah, a bit of a whatever card. Didn't really need it, but okay. Jurassic, I can't tell how necessary this is because I only play Goat and Edison. Morphing Jar is gonna look nice in the secret rare version. Doesn't have a secret rare printing yet. Happy about this. Sangan, again, overprinted, already has secret rares. Just got the retro pack reprint. But you're never gonna be disappointed in a shiny Sangan, or like that disappointed. It's just gonna be like, I guess it's a shiny Sangan, you know. Tragodia is pretty nice. It has the common or the original ultra rare print, I believe, and no, I think some like Duelist League, shiny name, green name, whoever plays those cards. But yeah, this is gonna look nice in secret rare. I'm looking forward to this. Mechanical Chaser, Sure. Sure, I guess. Engage is obviously not that old, but, you know, I guess 2018 sound is old at this point. It's an old school format at this point. Destiny Draw has a secret rare print already. Is not really seeing play ever. Cool artwork, but who wanted this? Rainbow Ruins! Konami, you told us Time Wizard cards, but this is for your pesky current players, you little dirty motherfuckers. Same with Engage, of course. So yeah, no Time Wizard player ever asked for this card, but we're gonna get it anyway. This could have been any other card, but whatever. Skyscraper 2, this is honestly the biggest L on the list so far, because it already has a secret rare print. It already has reprints that came out 1.5, 2 years ago. This is not an expensive card. Nobody plays this card. It's a very beautiful card. I love the architecture, but yeah. Super Poly. I wouldn't complain about this being, again, fodder for current players like Rainbow Ruins and Engage, but to be fair, 4 weeks ago I played Hero Beat at my locals, and I got Super Polyed for 2. And that felt really terrible. So, yeah. I guess it's an Edison card after all. It's a side deck card. Magic Cylinder, again, already has the original secret rare print, has a ton of printings, is only seeing fringe play, but whatever. And then Mirror Force, same old, but it's a Mirror Force. Again, you're never gonna complain about a luxury secret rare Mirror Force in your pack if you're a Time Wizard player. Like, okay, I guess this Goat deck or this Edison deck is getting a shiny new Mirror Force. I'm not gonna complain about that. It could be better, but could be significantly worse too. So, those were the cards that have already been revealed. 29 cards out of 200. So a lot of room. And we're gonna start with the, I'm gonna show you today 28 cards that need to be in the set, and we're gonna start with the elephant in the room. It has to be Trap-Dustshoot. If Trap-Dustshoot is not in the set, I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I get in big trouble, because this card needs to be in the set. It has been requested for years now. It's a mainstay in both Goat and Edison. In Goat, obviously, you can play multiple copies of this card. I play 2 since I'm a main warrior, but in Caius Turbo, you also usually play 2. Multiple different decks in Goat obviously play this card multiples of, and this is a 15 euro card at the moment as a common. Like, if we want to get a playable, like, good condition, so it's tournament legal, we're gonna check real quick. This is just way too expensive. These are all Japanese, so not illegal for play. So yeah, first good Dark Beginning 2, 14 euros for a Bodenklappenfalle. Yeah, 14 euros. I know in America, Keegan did a thing about this that's only like $7, but in Europe it's twice as expensive, and I think the euro is like slightly above it, so it's like $15, 15 American freedom dollars, I guess. Way too expensive for a card that, you know, as a shop owner, I get a lot of new people coming into Goat, into Edison. Those formats are still growing, at least here in Germany. And every single time I tell them, hey, you can build your deck for probably 30 euros, but you have to pay 15 euros for one single card. And it's the best card in the format, and you're going to get pissed every time it gets activated against you. It's also obviously the most toxic card in the format, but every Edison deck plays this, unless you are playing Frog Monarchs with Treacherous Trap Hole, and you're wrong about your deck building. Every other Edison deck or every deck builder will play this card. Every Goat deck or most Goat decks will probably play this. In Goat, ironically, getting this flipped on you doesn't feel nearly as bad as an Edison. But yeah, Trap-Dustshoot needs to be reprinted. It's also it's not just for the price, but it also just needs the rarity upgrade, right? It's the cards that I'm gonna give you a list of, most of them need to be reprinted because they're too expensive, but a lot of them also just need to be there in secret rare, in nice luxury secret rare. And Trap-Dustshoot needs to be there in nice luxury secret rare. The next card we have to talk about, which is also way too expensive, Delinquent Duo. I think also 10 euros minimum. So again, people want to start playing Goat, and I go, yeah, great format, very enjoyable, very nostalgic, but at the end of the day, if you want to play this format, you have to pay a minimum of 13 euros. This is from Austria, so if I'm in Germany, I have to pay 14 euros for a card that is gonna make its way into every Goat deck ever, except, I guess, OTK decks, right? But yeah, Delinquent Duo needs to be in this list, needs another print. The 25th anniversary Spell Ruler reprint didn't really do too much to the price because it's still an ultra rare, still hard to pull. I had people at my shop buying like 3 to 4 displays and not pulling one. So, yeah, unfortunate. It needs to be on there, even though it already has a secret rare print, to be fair. Next card on the list, Giant Trunade. Giant Trunade has a super rare print right now. Technically, too, because since it got reprinted as super rare. And maybe in Dark Beginning, too, or something. But, yeah, it comes as rare, common, or super rare. And it's one of the more iconic cards of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, for sure. I think it's still banned in current. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, in GOAT, it sees a decent amount of play, I would say. Obviously, Reasoning Gate plays this. OTK decks play this. Cat plays this. There's a bunch of decks that can play this. I think maybe even like Caius Turbo can incorporate this in the future. And then in Edison, this is a very powerful card. Lightstorm plays this. Fish OTK plays this. Pretty much every OTK deck plays this. Zombies, I think, plays this, right? And there's, definitely room for thought whether more decks in the future can play this. And most importantly, as I said, it needs the rarity upgrade. It really does. It's so old. And the best holo version you can get of is his old super rare, which looks nice, but it's like, those old super rares didn't have that much of a holo effect to be true with you. Another card this time for gold players, Metamorphosis. I just sold one for €9 for a common. Yeah, I mean, it needs the reprint because of pricing, but it needs the reprint because of rarity issues. It has the super rare champion pack version, which is like €400, I think, for a copy you can get. But yeah, it needs to be a nice secret rare. It needs the nice secret rare printing because this card looks terrifying. It's one of the most fucked up artworks in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, I think. But genuinely, it needs a nice shiny version, and this is the perfect place to do it. This is the time to shine. And of course, when you use Metamorphosis, you usually get out 1000 Ice Restrict, which already has a bunch of printings, including secret rare, so it's not necessary. But a card with which you want to beat the 1000 Ice Restrict and that you want to use in Edison format all the time right now. Hot card, Raigeki Break. People have mostly agreed that Raigeki Break is better than Phoenix Wing Wind Blast most of the time, because I don't want to stack a Black Whirlwind. I want to destroy it. I don't want to stack a Gorse most of the time. I want to destroy it. I want to destroy those cards that give me trouble and not stack them back on the deck, except it's a Stardust Dragon, I guess. Same goes for Goat. But yeah, this card has a super rare reprint from 10 years ago, which is like €15 right now. The OG prints have skyrocketed now that the hype is about playing this card in Edison. But you need a shiny, nice version of this card. No, a secret rare of this would look so nice. And it's right there on the table. Konami just needs to take it and commit to it. Next card is a card that is both for Goat and Edison, and it will probably shock you to hear that this was originally printed, I believe, in the starter deck Yugi, so right from the start of Yu-Gi-Oh!, and it has never in 25 years received a holo print. I am talking, of course, about Waboku. It doesn't even have a super rare, like a Speed Duel Tournament Pack super rare randomly. It has like a Mosaic rare. But it was reprinted, I think, 20 times. Only as a common. Crazy. And so this card needs to be on the list. One of the most iconic trap cards. Not obviously as used as much as like Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, Mirror Force, Sakuretsu Armor. Those cards are more iconic. But I mean, this is from the offset of Yu-Gi-Oh! This card was in the game, and it saw play, in GOAT. It sees play in GOAT, it sees play in Edison. It needs the holo print, and yeah, Konami should definitely give Waboku a luxury secret rare print. Alright, so a card, or 3 cards that I forgot to mention, since we spoke about Metamorphosis desperately needing a reprint earlier. Of course, when using Metamorphosis, most of the time, you're gonna bring out a 1000 Ice Restrict in GOAT format. However, there's a bunch of cards that you can also bring out that are all super expensive. Starting off with Dark Balter the Terrible. This card, I believe, is like €10 right now, as a common, like as just any kind of version. We can go on show offers. I mean, okay, like €6, for 6 euros for a common effectively. So that is what you're paying for. 6 euro for a common never feels nice. And it is probably the third most important fusion you would get out in Goat format. Obviously, tributing off a Thunder Dragon with Metamorphosis is the play here. And it would look amazing in Secret Rare. Once again, doesn't have that kind of printing and would desperately need one to lower the price, make Goat more affordable. Same with Ryu Senshi. Not quite as popular, but still very good. And also desperately needs a reprint. Also, one of those cards that is just like $5, $6, and it should just be... There should be a cent copy of this card at the end of the day. But yeah, when you're in Germany and you want a playable card, you have to pay quite a bit of money, like $3. Yeah, $3 for just a common. Again, just a bit annoying for sure. This should be luxury secret rare as well, because at the end of the day, we're also looking at the iconicness of these cards. And while Ryu Senshi and Dark Balter are like not as iconic as a Dark Paladin or Flame Wingman, they still fit in that, like, okay, you saw these cards as kids, you thought they were really cool looking, and now in Goat they're used very frequently and a bit too expensive, and they also just should get the rarity bump. Lastly, a card that is like genuinely, I said this a bunch of times, but genuinely a 10 euro common, Gatling Dragon. I mean, once again, we can look it up and I can be told that it's significantly cheaper than I told you. But yeah, first one, this is Japanese, this is also Japanese, Korean. Excellent one for 12 euros for a Legendary Collection Mega Pack common. Yeah. I mean, these ones are a bit less expensive, I guess, but then you include shipping and it's like it's a 10 euro common. Gatling Dragon is a 10 euro common. It shouldn't be. There's the nice ultimate rare printing, of course. I think the original other print was ultra rare. But this is just too expensive for being relevant, especially for decks like Reasoning Gate, where you get out the BLS and then metamorph it off. And it needs a nice, shiny secret rare print. And it would look very, very nice in that version. So now we talked a bit about some Goat staples. So let's give the Edison crew a few cards. Obviously, we were talking a bit about traps, and I have another one in my arsenal that is very important, and that is Dimensional Prison. This card, again, is a 2 to 3 euro common. You play it as a 2 or 3 off in those decks that do play it. Of course, not every deck plays this, but a lot of them do, to the point that the commons are too expensive. And most importantly, it only comes as the original super rare, and I think a Legendary Collection super rare, or like a Ra Yellow Pack super rare. And this would look so beautiful in luxury secret rare. I desperately need a Dimensional Prison in secret rare. Definitely iconic card, definitely a card that you saw as a kid and now you like to play with again. Definitely should be on the list. If this doesn't make it, I would be very, very disappointed in Konami, because again, it lowers the price, it makes it more affordable, and it's a very necessary, very nice rarity bump. Next, we have another Goat and Edison card that saw more popularity recently. Jar of Greed. Obviously now very much used in a lot of Blackwing decks in Edison, but also Chaos Turbo has been back on this. We even saw Warrior lists running this card now, so Jar of Greed stonks have thoroughly risen up over the last few months. And again, a very, very iconic card. It's not Pot of Greed, but it's Jar of Greed. You get to play mind games with your opponent, but only draw one card. And desperately needs a rarity bump as well. This does not have a secret rare print, as far as I believe. There's obviously the OG super rares, which have gotten very expensive. But would look absolutely amazing in secret rare. And while we're on the topic of Jar of Greed and drawing cards, of course, Legacy of Yata-Garasu is the main draw trap in Edison, since it does have the secondary effect, which comes up once every 2,000 Edison games, but it will come up, and you will bite yourself if you have instead Jar of Greed instead of Legacies. 2 to 3 euro common, once again. It has the original super rare print, a common print, and the original misprint secret rare, which is very hard to get nowadays and very expensive. I think like 40-50 euros. So printing this in premium secret rare will drop the prices of the commons and super rares, which is nice, makes it more affordable, and just gonna be another high rare option for those players that want to bling out their deck. Of course, people will still go with the original misprint secret rare premium pack one if you really want to max rarity your deck, but this will be the next best option for people who don't want to pay $50 but rather pay like a couple of bucks. Like I assume this would be like a €3 to €5 premium secret rare once it drops, maybe even lower. Next on the list, speaking of Edison cards, speaking of my favorite deck to play in Edison, Amaryllis. I've been an Amaryllis main since February of this year. I won 3 of my locals playing this deck. I went to the European Championship qualifier and got absolutely ass blasted. 1 and 2 drop out. Ooh. You know, Amaryllis, sometimes you draw those level 8s and can't do anything. But it is my favorite deck to play. I wish more people could play it. But of course, Amaryllis right now, again, Keegan said this is a €70 card in America. In Europe, it's significantly less expensive, thankfully. But if we click on the show offers, we will find that for a playable copy from Germany, you have to pay €35. And then for a playset, it's going to ring you up 110, €120 just to play those 3 Amaryllises, and then the rest of the deck comes on top, right? So Amaryllis right now in Europe is about a 150, 160, €70 deck, and it should be significantly less expensive to play that deck, of course. And by reprinting this card, they will do that. I think the original super rare will drop quite heavily, and I'll be happy to pick up original first edition American copies of this card once it does get to the reprint. But it'll also look amazing in luxury secret rare. So I think this and Trap Dustshoot and Delinquent Duo are the big 3 that need to be in this set. And then obviously Metamorphosis, Raigeki Break. These cards also obviously all need to be in there. But they'll be nice additions, and it'll be okay if some of these cards don't make it. It'll be disappointing, but as long as these 3 are in here, I'm already Gucci. I'm fine, but they need to be in there. You know what I'm saying? So next up, Edison cards once again. Armageddon. Oh, I can't type. Armageddon Knight. There he is. Beautiful boy, beautiful starter in Edison format. You normal summon it, send a Plague, a Vayu, or a Necro Gardener. And very iconic card to Yu-Gi-Oh's game, obviously, but doesn't have a secret rare print. I believe the highest rarity of this is also the original super rare. And yeah, I mean, look at the guy, right? He definitely needs that shiny secret rare bling on his armor. And I would love to play with that kind of version. Speaking of another Edison card that needs the rarity upgrade, a bit more fringe, but one of my favorite boys of all time, winning YCS London with Dimensional Alchemist and Christia, of course. And this card has 2 common prints and the gold rare print, I believe, from Gold Rare 3, which looks good. But even as a gold rare enthusiast, you know, gold rare 1 and 2 was where it was at, and this Gold Rare 3 is like kinda, it's good, but it's not perfect. But this guy in secret rare, oh my god, it would look so beautiful. This in luxury secret rare would be a gorgeous card, and I would love to get my hands on a playset. I was hoping for Speed Duel secret rare print, but that would be the next best thing from Bonanza. Maybe the card, the shininess quality will be the same as with the Speed Duel secret rares. That will be cool. But yeah, Dimensional Alchemist definitely needs that shiny bling secret rare armor. Now, we have played 2 normal summons, the Armageddon Knight to send the Plague, and the Dimensional Alchemist to banish a monster. And so now that these cards have left the field, we can banish a light and a dark, and finally get our hands on a secret rare Chaos Sorcerer. This card has a secret rare print in Korea, and I believe it's a prize card, so it's about $300, €300 if you want to get your hands on one. Bit expensive. Besides that, it has the original ultra rare from the turbo pack, or not the original, the reprint ultra rare from the turbo pack, and I believe a super rare print as well. Originally, it was printed as a common, which was really cool back then, because everyone had this on their playgrounds. And then it was reprinted in Dark Revelations 2 as a common, and then in a bunch of structure decks as a common. Which, again, was great, because as a kid, you could always anticipate your opponent having a Chaos Sorcerer, and it wasn't a big, insanely hard-to-get card like BLS. But it never saw a secret rare print, and this card looks gorgeous in secret rare. So, Chaos Sorcerer fits the need, fits the fact that it's an iconic card that everyone knows from their childhood and enjoy playing with. It's heavily used in GOAT. It's very much used in Edison. It needs the rarity bump, so I think this is an absolute no-brainer. This gets 5 out of 5 points in terms of importance, because it'll just make the player base happy to see a luxury secret rare Chaos Sorcerer. Ooh, I can't wait to rip up this bad boy. It has to be in there, has to be. But now, after we have banished a Light and a Dark, we have at least 2 cards in our banish pile. And what better way to bring back those cards than with Return from a Different Dimension? Not a card that is expensive, but it only has 1 holo printing. That is the Duelist Pack Kaiba Super Rare, which looks nice. It's a 8 to 10 euro super rare at the moment. Funnily enough, fun fact, if you get it first edition, it has old layout, but if you get it unlimited, it most likely has modern layout, because it got reprinted so many times over the years. So if you're an old layout kind of person, you need to pick up first edition copies of the card. But yeah, definitely would look phenomenal in Secret Rare, and I feel like this card deserves it for sure, just because it's not used as much in GOAT right now. It sees like play in Earth Aggro, because you banish a lot with Gigantes. It sees play, I guess, in Chaos Turbo you can incorporate it. We saw the world's winning deck list from 2 years ago actually play this tube copy of this, with the logic that if your spies get banished or your Dekoichis get banished, they just come back and they're a bunch of little bodies that do a lot of damage, of course. And you always paid life points with Gilder and Solemn anyway. But yeah, Return from a Different Dimension needs a rarity upgrade, but a card that needs the rarity upgrade to Secret Rare and definitely needs the reprint and falls into a very similar category. How is it called? Dimension Fusion? That's the name. Dimension Fusion. Pay 2,000 life points, special as many monsters as possible for both players. Only usable in GOAT. It's not legal in Edison, of course. But the fact that this is a 20 euro card, despite the IOC reprint we got last year with the 25th re-release. Crazy how many years it's been, 25th, right? But yeah, this card is still a 20 euro card. You want to play 2 to 3 off if you want to play Reasoning Gate. So Reasoning Gate right now in GOAT, because you also want to play metas, and you want to play Gatling Dragon, and you want to play these weenies as well. Like, Reasoning Gate in GOAT is like right now 150, 100 minimum, 100 euros minimum to 150 to maybe even a bit more, just because of these 5 cards effectively. So yeah, definitely needs a reprint from a price standpoint, but it also needs the reprint because, oh, look at how amazing this artwork would look in Luxury Secret Rare. Definitely a no-brainer in my book. Definitely a card I want to see. Needs to be in there. Iconic artwork, iconic card. Yeah, Konami, make it happen. Next up, back to Edison. Machina, Fortress, and Gearframe is like, low-key included in this one. These 2 guys have been getting a lot more credit on the Edison grounds. Recently, obviously, Lille was, Ultimate Time Wizard Lille was won by Machina Fortress 11-0, undefeated in Swiss. And then, boop. What was his name again? I think Julian from NRW, Köln Gang. Yeah, very, very good player. And very much enjoyed his deck profiles. Yeah, Machina, very, very strong in Edison, arguably, but even underrated. The Italian tournament saw 2 Machina players. It was a more than 200 people tournament. 2 Machina players in the finals, so the deck has a lot of merit. And yeah, these guys need a rarity bump, I feel, no? I mean, Gearframe, you can argue, hey, it's like a super rare, it's fitting enough. But this guy has the original Ultra version and then a bunch of common versions. And would look very nice in Secret Rare. Also, Machina Force already has a Secret Rare print, so it would make perfect sense to give these 2 weenies a Secret Rare bump as well. Next up, another trap relevant for both formats. It is a permanent trap. Can you guess which one? Of course, Royal Oppression is the name of the game. This card is 10 euros, 9 euros for the original rares and the reprint rares, and then like 12, 15 euros for the gold rare. So yeah, just a 10 euro card that should not be really a thing in most Time Wizard formats. I feel like almost every card should be maximum €1 or €2, and then you can max rarity bump it all the way as much as you want and pay thousands for your DRO4 Icarus attacks and that kind of stuff. But by itself, you know, to get in more new players, it's very helpful to always be like, hey, this format is super cheap if you ignore Delinquent Duo and Trap-Dustshoot. You know, that's always what I have to say. But I always go to those people who say like, oh yeah, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid back in 2006 or 2008. But then I started playing Magic because the game got too expensive and too complicated. So I play Magic now. And I go, oh, have you heard of Goat format? And most of the time they go like, oh, I know all these cards. That's really cool. And then I show them Edison format. They go, okay, Blackwings, I know those cards. Oh, Gladiator, I know those cards, yeah. And then, yeah, every time they go, Delinquent Duo 15 euros, Trap-Dustshoot 15 euros, unfortunate. But if those cards also going to be cents, then, yeah, we are going to have so many people joining the format. So Konami, make it happen. Royal Oppression, one of those cases. Another case of an insanely toxic card for what it's worth. Like, all these cards are, I hate them, but they're unfortunately in the card pool, so we have to accept them. Yeah. Fuck Royal Oppression, but it needs a reprint. It needs a secret rarity bump. It is how it is. I don't make the rules. Next up. Oh, this card needs a reprint as well, because Edison players, new ones joining, are always annoyed at this card. Magical Android. The go-to level 5 next to Catastor. Depends on the situation which card is better, of course. But both have their strengths and weaknesses. And Magical Android is right now 8-10 euro rare, even. It has the super rare print, the rare version, and I think an ultra would look gorgeous in secret rare. No questions asked. Love it. Need the Android, you know. I was very fortunate that I had one from my childhood, so I never had to buy this for way too much money, but yeah. Bit more fringe play, but a debris target, and therefore played in quick draw, and sometimes Amaryllis. Iron Chain Dragon has the one rare print in Crossroads of Chaos, and it's a 7 euro rare right now. Yeah, just reprinted it, way overdue. Not really iconic, so this is definitely a card I can see them overlooking at the end of the day. In comparison to the other cards we have on the list right now, but yeah, it's a card, right? It's a card that is relevant in Edison, and we don't want to see 7 euro rares just making people not want to join the format. Next up, a card that doesn't need the reprint for price reasons, but it would be very nice to see the secret rare reprint for rare reasons, and also one of the most iconic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh's retro history, Treeborn Frog. The little froggy guy just got a lost art, which looks nice, but it doesn't have a secret rare print. And, you know, this little guy is just, he's so neat, you know? I had one in my childhood deck. I was super happy with it. I see a lot of childhood decks running this, even though it was like, back then, you know, lists weren't optimized and that kind of stuff. So you only had one copy, and you only had a few Monarchs, but it was nice, you know, every round he comes back and is a little guy. We love him. Everyone loves him. Nobody hates this guy. I hate frogs, but I can't hate on that frog. You know, I love that frog. It's the substitute frog that I hate. It's the dupe frog that I hate. But this guy, I can never be mad at this guy. He's so cute, and he needs a secret rare print. He's a nice fella. So yeah, Treeborn Frog, premium secret rare, make it happen. Next card. This one is unlikely to be on there, I think. Gladiator, Beast, Retiari. Again, 10 euro if you want to play this card. You need to play this card in Glad Beasts. Many lists nowadays even run 2 because it's just so nice to have this Crow effect main deck. Obviously game breaking against Amaryllis, but against frogs as well. He's a menace. He is a menace, and he has the rare champion pack or turbo pack reprint and the original secret rare, and I think that's it. So yeah, 7-8 euros right now. Needs the reprint. Doesn't need the rarity bump because the original secret rare exists, but yeah, needs to be re-released. I think, unfortunately, out of all the cards in here, this is the least likely one, together with Iron Chain Dragon, because it's just very fringe. Because if they say, hey, we're going to reprint Retiari, they kind of have to put in all the other Gladiator beasts as well. And it's going to take up a lot of slots for an archetype that already has a lot of secret rares. So I think this card will probably not make the cut and will be included in some new other product, hopefully down the line very soon. But yeah, right now I think that is a card that is worthy of a reprint for sure and needs it. Next up, a card that is also relevant in Modern, I believe. Not sure about that one, but it's a €7 common. Thunder King Rai Oh. Obviously important to Edison format. Not as popular as it probably used to be at some point. Because Hero Beat has kind of fallen off, even though it just got a top. It's a nice card. It's a strong card. And yeah, I would just like to experiment with the card in the future without having to pay €7 for a freaking common. Commons should be cents. They should be the change we exchange as gifts for just, have it sakes. But yeah, right now Thunder King Rai Oh is big money, and we need a nice new shiny secret rare version of this card, I guess. Yeah, already has the original secret rare, of course, but never gonna complain about more secret rares. This card is arguably the most iconic card in Edison format, and it ties in with a bunch of other incredibly iconic cards in also Goat format. But the card I'm going to use here as an example is Caius, the Shadow Monarch. I wanted this card so badly in Rarity Collection 2, and I was so insanely disappointed that it wasn't included in there. Now is the time to make it happen. Caius, the Shadow Monarch, is the definitive Edison card in my book. Maybe Stardust Dragon, but maybe Dark. Nah, it has to be Caius. Has to be Caius, tribute to monster. Banish a card. If it's a dark monster, you deal 1,000 damage. He's that guy, He's that guy. And he would look so insane in Secret Rare. Imagine just opening 3 boosters and getting these 3 guys in luxury, amazing secret rare from those packs. Oh, I will be a big fan. But of course, we need to talk about the other guys. The Mobius. Oh, this guy in Goat saves my ass so many times. So beautiful in secret rare. I assume. I can't tell because it doesn't have a secret rare printing. The same goes for Grandmark. Bit fringe, I know, but Thestalos? Whew! Thestalos in secret. Oh, would look amazing. In my opinion, the best one to play in Frog Monarch, traditional ones without heroes. Ryza, iconic. And of course, we can't forget, even though I often do, Kuraz, the Light Monarch. So yeah, these bozos obviously come as a package. They are one of the most iconic archetype, I guess, in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Of course, when they were originally released, they weren't really an archetype. They were just a thing. But I still remember 2005, first time I got Mobius for 2, set call, set Saku, and he just summons Mobius, and it's like, oh, that's the game, I guess. Yeah, very, very popular in Goat. Love the card, needs a secret rare print. Fringe playing Goat, but still nice. Sees both play in Goat and Edison, would look amazing. Sees play in Edison, also with Kuraz. And yeah, Caius is the big guy. He's that dude. So yeah, definitely need to include the Monarchs in this list for sure. But Caius is going to be the representative of these guys. And so we're at 26 cards. So only 2 cards remain on my list of 28 cards that need to be in Quarter Century Bonanza. And the next one is another case of Waboku, in that it's a very old, very classic card, but it never saw a holo print. And that is Cold. Wait, I saw it. Oh, is it written together in English? No, what? Anyway, Cold Wave never got a holo print in the TCG. And yeah, it sees... we saw a Cyberstein Monarch list last year in Goat get a top 2 at a big UK tournament. So I think it's an underexplored card in Goat. But in Edison, it for sure sees play. You want to use it in Christia Sworn and Light Sworn. I guess you can use it in Frog OTK. And it's just, I'm not sure about the more recent formats, of course, or like Tengu or Hat or whatever, whether it's used there. But I feel like Cold Wave is a card that would also just look so nice in Secret Rare. Holy moly, like the little ice particles of this in Secret. Sad old dinosaur. I think it's a Brachiosaur. It's actually a card, no? Brachio. Oh, damn it. I know that there's a common here. Wait, what if I put in Saurus? It doesn't. I guess Frostosaurus kind of references it. But I think there's an original common. Maybe it only got in the OCG that shows this guy. But yeah, Cold Wave needs a secret rare print, will look amazing. Not for money reasons in this case. And last but not least, the final card in this list of 28 cards that need to be in Quarter Century Rare, Quarter Century Bonanza, 25th anniversary, blah, 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 blah. A card that also doesn't need to be in there for price reasons, but strictly for holographic reasons. And I think it's the most iconic Yu-Gi-Oh! Spell card of all time. Arguably after Pot of Greed. But Pot of Greed is only used in Goat, you know? It's not used in Edison. It's not used in any other format. But this card always was there in every childhood deck. And it's just the card. It's Heavy Storm. Can you believe it? Heavy Storm never had a secret rare printing before. And I mean, it's Heavy Storm, right? Like, all of you had this in your childhood decks. I had this in my childhood deck. Everyone did. Because it got reprinted as a common so many times, thankfully. But after 25 years, it never received a secret rare printing. This is the time to shine. This is the time to do it. It's relevant for Goat. It's relevant for Edison. You'll find this card in 99% of all of those decks. And yeah, it needs it. It needs it so bad. I need it. It's a SpongeBob meme. I need that heavy, watery, glitterily, sparkly secret rare Heavy Storm in my life. I'm very confident that it will be in there. Well, because like based on the cards again, we've seen it's a lot of anime reference, a lot of like just classic cards, and it doesn't get more classic than Heavy Storm. So yeah, that concludes my list of 28 cards that need to be in Rarity Collection 25th Anniversary Bonanza, releasing on the 7th of November, so in 2 weeks. Maybe one of these cards has already been made redundant by today's Konami announcement. Who knows? I hope. I really do. But the rest of these cards, I think there's a very, very strong need for a lot of them. Of course, some of them are only there for rarity reasons, but, you know, if we're gonna sort it real quick, I think these are the price ones pretty much. I mean, this one definitely is a price one, and these are all price ones. But yeah, so the top row is for price reasons, I guess, not Raigeki Break, right? The bottom ones are for rarity reasons, but yeah, like Raigeki Break needed, Caius really needed, Sorcerer really needed. So yeah, I am still very excited about Rarity Collection Bonanza as a whole. Again, when I first saw Flying Wingman and Dark Paladin, I was dooming. Out of the gate, I was like, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be over. I'm gonna drop my OTS store status. What is this? But thankfully, the more recent announcements have regained my faith that Konami has done a decent enough job at eventually putting quite a few of these cards in the final set list, and I'm very excited to see what kind of cards did I miss. Did I miss any, really? Put it down in the comments and let me know. I'm very excited. Of course, I only play Goat and Edison, so if you're a hat player or a Tangle player, I don't know what you want, because I don't care. But yeah, let me know in the comments still if this card, like Vanity's Emptiness or whatever you guys play with, needs a reprint in Secret Rare. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time when it's time for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Talk, and see you at my locals, hopefully. Bye-bye!